Okay, welcome, family.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It's a
sir.
pleasure to see everyone. This is the family tree, and I'm glad you stopped in today. And
I know that's right.
hopefully that you wave your hands. Go ahead, what? Just wave your hands. Give yourself a hand for
Act,
coming
act like
in.
act like you know something, y'all.
Come
Come on,
on,
kid.
y'all. Y'all got to bring some energy, right? Cause
Hey,
sometimes you got to pack your own energy. You know what?
hey,
If you in church, if you from the church fam, you say I got to pack my own amen.
Well,
Sometimes. Because you know
hey.
hallelujah.
what? Sometimes you waiting for
Mm,
somebody else to encourage you. You better encourage yourself
Encourage
and know
yourself.
how to grab that energy and
I
encourage
know that's
yourself to
right.
pick yourself up and move forward. You know what it starts with is it starts with your ability to actually be thankful. We
Yes,
talked
yes,
about that
Yes.
yes.
earlier. Be thankful for what's going on. Don't get comfortable because this world is
I
going
know that's right.
backwards, y'all. We got to move forward and the world going backwards. So that means that, find your ability to inspire yourself. Got it?
Yes,
Don't wait for
yes,
somebody
yes,
to give you acknowledgement because your
yes, yes,
dream
yes.
and your challenge is right with you. Somebody
Well,
said something to me one time. They said, Little Paul, you know where the
well.
pace, and if you know this answer, don't you say something because I did mention this on the weekend. If you know where the greatest place where the most talented and inspiring people and gifted people on the planet are, what would you say? The most inspired people and gifted people on the planet. Karam, you know where that is?
Yeah, I listen to you on the weekend, so I
Don't you
won't
say
say it.
nothing then. Don't you say
Okay.
nothing. No.
The graveyard.
See there, somebody had to go. It's the graveyard. That's right.
Well,
Ooh.
For dreams and possibilities that never took place because
yes.
they never put them
Well,
forward. How about that? All right. So let your dreams go forward. Put it into motion. Put it out in the universe. All
Yes,
right.
indeed. Yes,
So I want
indeed.
to thank you for coming through, and we hope that this is going to be an inspiration for you and your family. And hope you got somebody tuned in. If you join us for the first time, my co-host and with the most is Bill One L Morgan over there.
Bam!
Give Big
Bam!
B a hand over
Drop
there.
the
Let's
mic,
give him a
y'all.
hand.
Drop the mic. What's up?
Drop.
What's up? What's up?
Big B is producing this segment,
Oh
and what
boy.
he does for the family tree is, I tell you, I can't tell you how much he means to this whole platform because he takes the shows that we do and he edits them down. He puts them on social media. He does all the things that I can't do. So, Big B, I love you, man. Take it away, brother. Tell him a little bit about what's going on. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, he said he can't do it. Yeah, he can, but that brother got too much to do. He's so busy he can't even find his own self. So don't even start. Listen, guys, let me go here. Of course, we want to make sure that you get all the numbers and get our mental health thing going here every week, just as we're getting into the program. And of course, these are our quick facts as of about 14 minutes ago, coming from our very, very favorite website, which is encode2019.live. That's NCOV2019.live. Okay. Now, our numbers come up as this. Here we go. Here we go. Total confirmed cases around the world 192,756,229. You with me? That's a lot. Total critical now 82 million. I'm sorry, 82,134. Total deceased 4,141,455. Total active cases around the world 18,803,816. Total recovered. Mental health time. Drum roll. Bang, 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 bang. Drop the mic, guys. 173,498,034.
Wow. Let's
That's
give a
deep,
hand,
y'all.
family.
That's what's
Yes,
up. That's what's up. That's what's
that's
up.
what's
See?
up. See, you got to remember, here we are. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and the numbers are starting to rise again. They're
Yes,
saying that
yes,
about
yes,
83% of the new cases are the Delta variant. We've been talking
yes,
about the Delta variant for over a month. It's been
yes.
over almost a month and a half. And I told you this thing is not over. One thing that I don't hear the fact that, yeah, they're rising and they're putting it on the unvaccinated, but no one's talking about the fact that you just had the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody had a mask on. Everybody was running willy-nilly everywhere. And that had a lot to do with it because super spreading events happen usually about 2 weeks after the event. And about 2 weeks ago, it was what? About the 4th of July. Got
Mm-hmm.
it? So what we're seeing is something of a concern, continuing to go back into lockdown. We have LA County, largest county in the country, now starting to shut down again. Now they're going to have to start to get into the mask again. They're going to mask indoors, mandatory. Now they're talking here in Pennsylvania, even doing the same thing. So what does it mean about you? Coming right on back around the corner again, talking about what we've been saying the whole time, and we never jumped off of it, is that you got to build your immune system. Got it? So that's why we have this forum. That's why we have this set. Build your immune system. Know what your body's trying to say to you, but ultimately the body is king. So if you are joining us for the very first time and you want to chime in, you have a question, concern, go down to your lower panel and you click on where it says reactions, and you can put your hand up. Put your hand up and we'll try to get your question answered. If I don't know it, or Big B doesn't know it, or you don't have it, we'll try to get the answer for you.
Certainly
All
will.
right. And with that, also, you can put your question, if you don't want to talk, in the chat room.
That's right.
And Big B will sit there and try to grab that chat question for
As
you.
best I can.
And maybe Prophetess, I don't know if she's on today.
I don't see her yet. But,
yeah, not yet. She's
we'll
not
keep
on
going.
yet. But maybe we can actually make sure that you get your question answered. If you are someone that's dialing in from the phone and we cannot see you, but if you can make yourself known to Big B or myself, we'll try to get you in and get your question in also. All right, family? All right, Big B.
Dr.
And
Bob, before we get started here, there's some concerns here in regarding to getting copies of the chat. Folks, you have to make sure you send the email to me, mechavideo at mechavideo@gmail.com. Send a request to mechavideo at gmail. I'm going to put that in the chat here, which I just did, as a matter of fact. Send that email to me, and listen. Ask everyone else. If you send an email to there, you've gotten a copy of the chat. So make sure you. I don't have a running list because you remember, the list changes each week. So I don't know who's here and who's not. So you have to make sure that you request it each week. Now, if you get to the point where you're going to be every week, then maybe I'll try and compile a list. But in the meantime, each week, make sure you send that request in, and make sure that you get out and get the chats out to you each and every Thursday and Friday. All right.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Mike's just a little bit muffy there, Big B. I think it's probably you need to push it away a little bit.
That's what I'm going to do that right now. How about that?
Yep, I think you're good though.
Okay.
All right, family. So anyone on the chat right now that we can answer a question on the chat line?
Well, there was one kind of left over from last week. Someone was having an issue. Let me find it here real quick. They were having a problem. Okay, here we go. Ringing in the ears. I lost 20% of my hearing in my left ear, and the ringing is and both, but it's driving them cuckoo.
Driving them cuckoo.
Yeah, what can be done about that?
I would ask first, do they have high blood pressure?
Okay.
That's my first question. Ringing in the ears can be a couple of things. That's why we have to sort of probe the questioning of what's going on with the individual. You know that you have these things called crystals in the ear. Did anybody know about crystals in the ear? Anybody? Well, you have these crystals in the ear, which are actually part of the inner ear. And they're part of the inner ear that sometimes can get trapped in like this little tube that goes around. And usually what happens when that happens, that little crystal gets trapped in there and it starts throwing off equilibrium. So sometimes you'll see balance issues going on, but also you'll get that ringing in the ear sometimes the whooshing in the ear. Sometimes that actually also has other implications that you could have a cervical spine issue. So we would check to make sure, number one, structurally your cervical spine is correct. You may need an adjustment. Usually the ears are in what's called the cervical C1, C2. That's the atlas, C1, axis, AXIS, C2. Got it? So we want to make sure that adjustment is being made and that there's no misalignment there. A lot of that has to do with the positioning of the pillow at night. So when you're laying down, say if you're laying like this, the pillow's either too high or it's too low, and then the spine is off. So that can cause a problem. But there's also, as I mentioned, there's some crystals that are in there that get trapped, and that can cause a problem. If you go to a chiropractor, they should be able to help you with that. But I would check first with the structural issue first. Got it? Check with the structural issue. Make sure there's no misalignment. Usually C1 through C7 is usually where that happens. Okay? Also, you got to watch, there are infections and stuff like that that you can get in the inner ear. Ear infections can happen. People will have ear infections and don't even know it. So that's when you would come into the office and we could tell what's going on with that. We can tell if there's possibly an infection. So I would check those as a probing to see if some of those things are so structural. Got it?
Okay.
Structural issues, right? So make sure you get a chiropractor. Put your back in alignment. Atlas, axis are the 2 points for that. Also check for crystals, crystal imbalance. They'll show you how to bring them back into balance because you can move the crystals back into balance. And the last one, watch out for infections. Got it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Now.
All right. So I'm going to go to the top here as we got more folks coming in. Okay. Bring them on in. Bring them on in. Hello.
My doctor just diagnosed me with von Willebrand factor. Is there anything natural I can do about this?
Okay. What was the name? I couldn't hear you.
Okay. Am I muted? Or am I? There's enough gain. I'm trying to get myself together.
You still sound a little muffled.
I'm muffled.
Yeah, a little muffled.
Okay. How's this? I'm a little strange. This is different.
Yeah, there
tonight.
you go. That sounds a little better.
Right there. Okay,
Talking.
very good. I'll sit back from the mic a little bit then. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I said my doctor just diagnosed me with von Willebrand factor. Is there anything natural I can do about this?
Van Willebrand factor.
Yeah.
Okay, they would have to break that down. Let me see.
Shona, are you there?
Is she there?
Yes. Shona, are you there? Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, when she comes in, we can get that. I believe that's, when you're dealing with that, I believe it sounds like you said Willebrand.
Yes.
Okay. I believe that
It's
deals with.
it's Willebrand is the way they spell it.
She said yes, and she said it's a blood clot issue.
Yeah, blood clotting issue. Yeah,
okay.
Anytime you see something usually named after someone, it's usually some kind of blood issue. So blood issue goes back to what? Blood cleansing. We got all these blood issues, y'all. You got to start to now cleanse the blood. I gave a list of about 80 different herbs that you can have on the website. So pick one. That's all you got to do. By you living on this northern hemisphere, you are now susceptible to a lot of things because you're not getting direct sunlight. You're getting what's called indirect sunlight. So with that being the case, you got to start to clean this blood. People of color, we tend to have more problems with this because we are people of melanated that are highly melanated, which we need a lot of sun. We are the people of the sun. So we tend to be from closer to the equator. So that means that the closer you are to the equator, the hotter the heat is on that point, and that means more nutrition. So if your DNA code says I'm from closer to the equator, now you're living higher on the higher peninsula and also part of the northern hemisphere, indirect sunlight, you're malnutrition. So a lot of issues that we tend to have are blood issues. That's why we're the highest when it comes to sickle cell, to things like this is another one called G6PD enzyme deficiency.
Yes.
That's one called G6PD enzyme deficiency, which is another enzyme deficiency, which means the blood's clotting up or it's not producing the proper amount of proteins or some kind of imbalances. So what does that mean? We're malnutrition. And then, of course, we also have industrialization. A lot of food is toxic. We're not getting the nutrients. That's why we go to the green drinks. So we do blood cleansers, which are all those herbs. If you need to go to my website, go to drpaulherbs.com, go to the download section, download that list. I just published about 2 weeks ago the top 75 plus blood cleansers. And these are traditional blood cleansers that were used for, traditionally around the world. And I sort of pulled out the whole, I pulled out the crates, some of the best stuff. So get that list. Check it twice. But here's the thing. Just do one. All you got to do is just pick one. If you pick one and work with one, That thing's been around for about 1 billion years. It can actually help to clean the blood. Got it? So we got to get back to cleaning the blood, especially if there's clotting issues. Clotting is dirty blood. And also remember the time of the year we're in. When you go into the winter months, your blood starts to get thicker anyway, naturally. Why? Because what? It's getting cold outside. And as it's getting cold outside, you're not getting as active, and then the blood starts to get thicker. Got it? So, blood cleanser. But I tell you, everybody need to be taking a green drink. That's a multivitamin to get you started. Get a green drink and then get you one of those herbs. But I would recommend she come in for a assessment, and then we can actually see better. Usually we start with the liver. The liver is your nuclear reactor. That's your power source. That's where all of it starts, right there. Get that liver clean, and you can clean the whole entire body. Got it? All right. All right, let's see. I'm going to go to my list over here, Big B.
Okay.
I'm going to go to Stacy. Stacy, how you doing there, Stacy?
Hi, how you doing?
Is that my man over there?
Yes.
Yeah,
Who is that over there?
He
Yes, my
decided to
dad.
come back and hang with us, huh?
He
I'm
hanging.
hanging
You,
out.
you decided to come back. You was playing hooky
Yeah,
for
we
a while.
decided to come back. Take a little vacation.
Oh boy.
Happy New Year, all folks.
Yes.
Good,
All right,
good
all
to
right.
see you. Good to see you. So what's going
Good to
on?
see
Tell me
you.
what's good. What's
You,
happening?
Phil?
And tell him how old you are.
I'm 90.
He 90 years old,
Shut
Big
the
B.
front door. Boy, when I
The
grow up, I'm
front
gonna be just
door.
like you.
Thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
being here,
Yes,
fellas.
sir. That's what's up. That's what's up. All
I'm
right.
I know
Yeah,
I'm
Sounds
old. You
good.
can say whatever you want to say.
I know.
You can do
I
whatever you
pray
want
for
to
all
do.
of you.
That's
All right.
right. That's right.
All
That's
right.
right. So what's going on, Stacy?
Okay, one I wanted to know, could you refer me to a chiropractor in New Jersey?
In New Jersey.
Oh.
No, I can't. No one that I
Okay.
know that. I mean, we're branching out with different chiropractors here in Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have one in my network over there. I have 3 here in Philadelphia, but I
my
don't
prayer.
have one there. Yeah. What part of Jersey you're in, by the way?
Wellingboro.
Willingboro.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll look for that, and I'll specifically reach out to some of my sources and see what we can find for you. Okay, so we'll put that on the list for next week. But yeah, we have a large amount of people coming from Jersey and also Delaware. So I will look for chiropractors in those areas that I can connect with and definitely put in our network. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to know, I'm going to be going to Florida on,
Mm-hmm.
yep, I'm gonna be, don't worry, I'm masked up, prayed up, oiled up,
All
everything
right.
girded up.
All
Okay.
right. Heard that now.
Okay. But I just want to know, how do I travel with the herbs and everything?
Yeah. Whenever you travel, you always have to declare them, especially if you're flying. All you have to do is declare them. That means that they would go not with you, of course, on the plane, but they would go in your bag. But you have to declare them. Okay.
Okay.
So you have to there's a way you can actually declare items and things like that. People don't know that you can declare anything. You can declare swords and knives and swords,
Where to
yes,
go?
and guns.
Thank you.
You can
Thank
declare anything when you put it under the plane. Got it?
Okay,
There's
so
procedures for everything. So you just have to declare. You can do a declaration. So when you turn your, when you get to the baggage, and just tell them I want to declare some items, and this is what you would do. Okay.
now, do I have to give them a list of the items or just tell them?
Well, yeah, you wanna know exactly what you're declaring so that
Okay.
they'll be clear on what the items
you.
are. You can have them in one separate bag, which would make it easy for them.
Okay.
But yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
what you would do. Yeah, you always declare your items or whatever it is you're doing. People don't realize how much you can take on the plane. I'm telling you, they got a whole protocol. If you go to the website of the airline that you're going to be flying, you are flying. Is that correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, go to the airline and they'll give you a special procedure for declaration. So when you're declaring certain things, they'll tell you. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And then the other thing is, okay, when you have underarm stains, is that from the deodorant? It has aluminum in it. Now I've changed over to no aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
So is it just natural or
It
is it
can.
because of
It can be.
deodorant?
Yeah, it can be a little bit of both. It could be the toxicity coming out of the person also.
Okay.
Sometimes it's the toxicity sweating out of you. But then sometimes, yes, it is a poison, a toxin that's coming from the actual deodorant you're using. We say non-aluminum. Make sure there's nothing that's potentially going to block the lymph node. That's the axillary, node under your arm. So don't
Uh-huh.
put anything there. That's why I tell, all ladies, make sure you're not using aluminum deodorants. Men too. No aluminum deodorants. All right. I hope
Thank you.
everybody
All right.
got that. All right. Make sure there's no aluminum deodorants. When they start to have lymphatic blockage in person's body, when they get the lumps under the arms or lumps in the breast
All right.
area,
Mm-hmm.
that is a direct sign of blockage because it can't get out. So sometimes a boil, will happen underneath the arm because now it's saying send it to the surface of the skin. So it's going to try to pull it out that way. So it's going to push
Okay.
it out, and then if you break it, it's going to smell. It's going to smell real bad because
Mm-hmm.
that's the sewer system of the body, right? It's
Yes,
trying to
yes, yes.
evacuate. It's trying to keep you alive. That's what's happening. Got it?
And the spleen is part of all that.
Mm-hmm. The spleen is part of that. The appendix is part of that. Yep. Yep. The tonsils is part of that. Mm-hmm. All of that is part of your, lymphatic system that's cleansing. But it's also saving you. It's the overflow of toxins that moves it out of the body. Remember, the body says, I'm going to circulate this one more time. It's a secondary circulatory system. So it's circulating it one more time. We did a whole piece last week. Did you hear? You weren't here last week.
Right.
We did a
Exactly.
whole segment on lymphatic detox, and I had a video that
Yes.
we showed. We did a video, and the video was showing exactly how to do a detox. It was an awesome video. Did y'all get anything from last week? If y'all showed up, heard that we had a great breakdown, and it was one of those simple. Yeah, it was kind of simple. I thought it was something very simple because
Yes.
sometimes people can make it very complicated, but it's not that complicated. You
Okay.
just start to get the lymphatic system moving, just under the arms, ladies, gentlemen, just things like this, up
Mm-hmm.
in and around, and then move it towards that area. So if it's moving towards that area, it would go like that, right? From the
Mm-hmm.
nipple on up goes this way, and from the nipple underneath goes under, up, and in. Got it? That's the way it moves for the breasts. Also for the hands, arms, we doing all of the
And
tapping and things like that. That all
Yes.
drains down to here. So what's happening is it's from the left to the right, left to the right. It's sort of like it's like a system of detoxing. But remember, the detox system with the lymphatic system is a very slow moving system because it's a lot of toxins in it. It's bacteria, virus, fungus, parasites, cancer. Yes, cancer is in there. That's what the body naturally does when it gets rid of cancer. It's sort of moving this stuff out very slow. So that's why, the controversy comes in all the time when someone has a lump in their breast or in the area, because men get breast lumps too,
Mm-hmm.
or under the arms. And people say, well, wait a minute. The first thing they want to do is do a what? A biopsy. Well, don't do a biopsy yet. That's just blocked lymph trying to get out. So if you go in and you cut yourself, or they cut you to do
Yeah,
a
boy.
biopsy, they'll
Yes,
go
yes.
in and they'll cut it and then open up and they'll come back and said, we found cancer. They said they found cancer, right? They said they found cancer. Didn't say you had cancer. They said we found cancer. But my question to you, didn't we say that's the sewer system of the body? Ain't that where you're supposed to find cancer? Absolutely. That's where the body naturally is getting rid of it. But now when you cut that system, you just open and expose the rest of the body to the rest of the toxins. Got it? So you're opening up a can of worms there. Don't do it. Got it? So, what does that mean? That means move the lymphatic system. Everybody should be doing something. The exercise is the number one way to move it. Got it? So, breathing, exercise, deep breathing. I want you to blow that stuff out. When we look at
yes.
folks, when we look at their test reports and they bring back their blood and everything, carbon dioxide buildup. That means you're not breathing right. So you got to get out there and breathe, get oxygen into the system. Exercise, start to move the system. All those things are what you need to do on a regular basis. Same time every day makes it even better. So if it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, try to do something the same time that
Mhm.
gets your circadian rhythm moving. Boom, boom. Got it? So
Yes.
yes. So hopefully that helps you there, Stacy. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? When you can buy
Hmm.
shower gloves rather than like a washcloth. They have the mitts you can put on.
Okay.
So now I'm thinking you're washing your body. So can that kind of sort of help as well?
Sure. I mean, the brushing, you don't have to do too much with,
Much.
believe it or not, the
Yeah.
lymphatic system is a brushing flow. It's
Okay.
always at the surface of the skin, so you don't have to deep massage. So
Okay.
if anyone gives you a deep lymphatic massage, it's not like a massage like somebody would be getting into the muscle. It's not a
Okay.
deep massage. It's actually just a
Okay.
brushing. It's a matter of fact, sometimes they'll use like feathers to actually get the
Really?
flow.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's very, very nice, and uh, it's very soothing, and also it's enlightening because it actually starts to cool the body at the same time.
Okay.
So getting this stuff moving, and remember, whenever you are moving the lymphatic system, if you ever been exercising, and then when you finish exercising, you start itching all over, like your back start itching and your thighs
Mm-hmm.
start itching. Yep, that's lymph moving right there. That's a sign of lymph moving. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
All right, take
Okay.
care.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care. All
God
right.
bless you.
All right. Let's see here. We got Dolly and Cynthia. How you doing?
Uh,
All is well, Doc. How are
Yes.
you?
All right. We're doing well. How y'all doing over there?
All is well. And thank God for Bill. Bill's all right.
uh,
Bill's all right.
yeah.
Oh, boy.
The question is, Dr. Hopkins, concerning eggs. The eggplant best, or which one would you say, the eggplant best or the organic egg?
Yeah, if you got to do eggs, it's always what they're feeding the chicken or it's the process that it goes through. And nowadays, you just have to be careful. So you're gonna get eggs. You got to get cage-free eggs. It's usually the brown eggs. Eggland's Best has a reputation for being a better quality because of what they do. They even label their little stamp on them, things like that. So just make sure it's always, do your homework. If you got to eat eggs, it would be cage free. Got it? Cage free. Okay.
Great.
All
So it's
right.
not about organic. It's not about organic, right?
It's not about, yes, it is. It's very much about organic. See,
Oh, it is.
see, if you're going to do eggs, period, you got to make sure it's something that's, it's what they're feeding the chicken. That's it. And that's what it processed that it goes through. The less processed, the better. But that's why some people don't even do eggs no more. They just do egg whites if you're going to do
Yeah.
that. You got it. So it depends. I mean, it's a tricky situation. Go to the website, nongmoproject.org. That's the one I recommend. Check
Uh,
everything through there. They got a lot of different choices right there that can help you out, okay?
okay.
All right. Thank
Thank
All
you so
right.
much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Big B, you got anything over there?
Well, there's something just came up says the use of I guess incentive spirometer is so useful for exercising. Your lungs are increasing your oxygen saturation. Many receive them after a hospitalization, but they can be purchased on Amazon. That was just a note. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
And of course, there was a question about where the lymphatic video can be found, and I actually put the link back in the
Okay.
chat,
Good.
guys, so you can actually find
Yes.
that there.
Definitely go back on that video, family. That was an excellent video. You got to see it. But there's so many that are on there. All you got to do is go to
Yes.
YouTube, punch in something that says lymphatic massage. That's all you got to do.
Exactly. Now, okay. Well, says my husband, excuse me, I guess was out with what we thought was poison ivy, because maybe cutting grass, but it's now been 2 months and still he still has itchy, dry patches on his arms. Is there anything we can do to relieve his symptoms?
Sure. There's a few things that you can do. Number one, you want to find out what it is that he's been exposed to. But usually, if it's some form of poison ivy, if they don't think it's poison ivy, it could be poison oak. You know, it can also be there's a rise in what's called hemlock. Okay, hemlock is having some people have an allergic reaction to hemlock, and hemlock is actually one that's found in the garden also. And no matter what it is, we take a combination of herbs. So if you're writing this down, write this down, family. If you're someone that's gardening and things, always wear sleeves anywhere and gloves and eye and hats and long pants. Don't go out there with with your sandals on, cutting grass. Don't do all that stuff. All right. Make sure you're properly, you know, secure. So, what you can do, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. There is a combination of what we do, and we take golden seal root, okay, golden seal wheat root, and also black walnut. That's a combination. Okay, with those two herbs in its powder form, you would place it like on a plate, and you can actually add a little water to that, just a little bit of droppings of water to make a paste, and you could rub that paste with a non-latex glove and rub it on those areas. Got it? That usually gives it an astringent property, so it pulls anything that's trying to come out. So poisons and things like that are trying to come out, it pulls it out. You may also add a little lavender oil to that. Okay? And that's what we use for like bites, insect bites, things like that. Okay? But that's a great one. Matter of fact, I was walking my dog one day, and as my dog I was walking, you know how you walking and the overgrowth may go over a path or something. Well, I just ducked under. The dog's pulling you, and then I went like this and just moved it, and then I looked up and it was poison ivy. And a matter of minutes before I was even getting back to the house, it started, flaring up. So immediately I took that combination of the golden seal, the black walnut, a little lavender oil, made a combination, started applying to there, and where normally you would have sometimes weeks before poison ivy gets out of the system, it was gone in about 3 days.
Good. That's great. That's great.
Got it. All right.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff.
All
Good
right.
stuff.
There are a couple here. Are there any any teas or herbs that can help fibroids?
Yes. That's all again blood cleansers, but also before you go to fibroids, not just for an herb for fibroids, because we don't cut, rip, or burn anything out. What we do is make sure we shrink them. Okay, we shrink them. But one thing you gotta watch is when fibroid cysts or tumors of any are in the system, you have to start to make sure your rhythm or circadian rhythm is in balance. That means that usually constipation is one of the number one cause for fibroids. Got it? Constipation. So what does that mean? That means that if you're not eating, when you eat, you're supposed to eliminate. Got it? So don't sit and eat a lot of excess fats, things like that, eating at the wrong times, eating meat first thing in the morning as opposed to waiting after 12 o'clock. Things like that will cause meat to sit on your intestines, and it sits until finally, basically, it starts to putrefy. When it putrefies, now it moves down. So 1 inch from the navel for women, top of the uterus. That's where we find all the first signs of fibroid cysts and tumors. Now, if you don't do anything, then it moves into the lining and eventually into the uterus. Now we got a bigger problem. Now we're going to talk about issues of DNC, and it gets real complicated because it now affects the ovaries and everywhere on the cervix. So you don't want to get complicated. But guess what? It all goes back to constipation. Bowels not moving. People say, I don't go to the bathroom. I may go once a day. I have some people that have come in and say they haven't gone in days.
Wow.
Some people say I haven't moved my bowels in days. It was one person came in and said, hey, I haven't moved in, 3 weeks. I was like, I can't believe you're doing this. You're telling me that you haven't moved in 3 weeks. And I mean, there's actually worse cases than that, y'all. But I'm not going to go that far tonight. But yes, there's some people that don't move their bowels at all, and that's not good. So where is it going? It's sitting in your gut, and it's rotting. You ever had meat sitting out for a
Yeah.
while? What's happening? It's starting to putrefy. Got it? So you don't want that to happen inside of you, because now it's going to move into your flesh. It's going to give into your gut, and then that's what causes the cancers and the things. And so really the body's just trying to do what I can do to isolate it. So I'm going to quarantine it the best way I can. So I'm going to make a fibroid or a cyst or a tumor. I'm going to keep it together. I'm going to kind of clump it together to try to quarantine it. So the body's doing the best it can do with what it can do. Got it? So cycles, rhythms, get them into the detox. They need a 40-day detox, and also their water's got to be spot on. They're probably dehydrated seriously. Got it? So we would put them all those things are prior to putting them on specific herbs. There are some herbs that we do specifically for women, and I'll give those to you. Doctor Diagnose, Treat, Cure, Prevent Disease, just food for the soul. Going back to the blood cleansers again. For women, one would be Pau d'Arco. Another one would be Cleavers. Got it? Another one would be Black Cohosh, Red Clover. Got it? Those are the ones that we would use, typically right there. And of course, the Golden Seal. Those are ones that we use to help to cleanse the system so that we flush that out. But you got to stop eating certain times. It's all going back to eating cycles and rhythms. All right? Good questions. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Dr. Paul,
Yes.
I have a question, sir.
Okay, you're on phone, so we're going to let
Yes,
you on
I'm
in?
on the phone.
Sure.
Yes, I'm on the phone. You had announced on the radio on Sunday about a tea for diabetics, but you never gave the name. Could you tell me the name?
A T for diabetics, Dr. Paul, is what you're saying.
Gymnema. 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 That's one.
I have another question, sir. Dr. Paul, what about the pill for black tea bitter? Do you have the pill for that? Is it better to use the pill?
I can't hear you. For which one? Black seed bitters?
Black seed
Yes.
bitter, yes.
Okay, so it's the black seed bitters, the oil, there's the oil, and then there's the tonic. If you're using it, you have to know why you're using it. Okay? Black seed oil has gotten its attention, and people are taking black seed oil, but I'm gonna tell y'all the best benefit would be the black seed tonic. That has more to it. That has land and sea, but also it has the bitter herbs that were traditional for west side of Africa. That's where a lot of the formulas come from. So that works better. See, black seed is good, but the problem with black seed oil is that people are taking a lot of black seed oil because they hear people say, oh, they say it's good, but they're not understanding that you got to drink water with that. You got to drink water. So you got a lot of people who are taking black seed oil that don't drink water, or if they're drinking water, they're drinking the wrong water. And then they're having headaches and they're causing issues and saying, I don't know about this stuff. And then they stop taking it altogether. So what I would recommend, if you're talking about for a detox purpose, got to remember what are you taking it for? And I would say to be in balance, get you a black seed tonic. Okay, the black seed bitters tonic.
I take the black seed bitter tonic, but this is for my daughter. She wants to know, can she take the pill?
Sure, I mean it's the same
For her
thing.
for the blood pressure, she can take
Yeah,
the
hey,
pill.
Martha, you
Well, I
doing?
mean it depends on what her situation is. You
I'm
know,
okay.
if
How
you
you
would have
doing?
to see the person's situation first. They need an assessment. If she has high blood pressure, she would need an assessment. Okay, you can't just say you're going to take something. Yeah, you can't just recommend anything without being an assessment first, because you got to know what you're taking it for. And a lot of the issues that people are
Oh,
having,
wow.
a lot of issues.
Guys, make sure you mute yourself.
Make sure you mute yourself, family. The problems that people are having are a lot of dehydration problems. Because we're approaching it from the standpoint of, come on, somebody's got to mute, somebody's got to mute, somebody's got to mute. Okay. Make sure you mute. Make sure you
Jackie,
mute.
mute yourselves. I can hear you.
Oh,
Jackie,
wait a
too.
minute. Wait.
Thank
Okay, let me
you.
mute him up.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. No problem.
Okay, like I was saying, what happens is most people are just not taking the proper amount of water. You know, we are still caught in an allopathic mindset, a philosophical understanding that one pill is for a symptom, not realizing that things that happen in the body happen systemically. You know, everything happens like when you have that vicious cycle. Everybody heard about that vicious cycle, right? That vicious cycle has everything to do with a systemic problem. Really, that means it's just one problem going on with you. One problem is causing the next problem. The next problem causing this problem. That problem is causing this problem. And you going around that wheel 3 and 4 times. So really, there's one problem going on. That's the way the body works holistically. It doesn't work in that fashion where they want to give you a pill for every symptom that you have. That's the money maker's system for making money. That's not how the body works. You know, we feed the body and it corrects itself. So when you start to do that one problem, it corrects all the other problems. Got it? So we got to get out of that mindset. We got to start thinking more holistic with our approaches as opposed to just looking for that what we call magic bullet. Some people want that magic bullet, Big B. All right. Unmute yourself there, buddy.
Oh,
All right.
All right, I got you.
Okay. And we got Helen on the line. Helen?
Okay, there we go.
How you doing, Dr. Paul? How you doing, Bill? How's
Hey,
it
Helen,
All
how are
right.
you?
Doing good. Doing
How are
good,
you?
Helen. How you doing?
good? So I have a this is a cereal that I wait a minute, here we go. The cereal that I found out there. It seemed pretty good. It has coconut sugar in it though, but
Cacao crisp.
overall it's rice. It's a rice cereal.
All right.
And I found some of these
So back that up for a second. Show them the cacao. So some people don't know what cacao is.
okay.
Okay, cacao. For those who know, cacao is that's actual organic chocolate. It's organic chocolate. Some of y'all going,
I heard that. Well,
I'll get some tomorrow.
Good for breakfast.
And
Coconut
it is
milk, hemp milk.
Yes, and cacao is one of the highest antioxidants that you can have. You know, we used to have they used to have this one company that served cacao in a champagne bottle. It was crazy. They were crazy.
Yeah.
wow.
And it was
okay.
thick. It was like a thick, liquid. And they served it in like a champagne bottle. And I'm telling you, it is an incredible antioxidant. But see, that's real chocolate. That's not the Hershey's that y'all like with the milk chocolate.
It's very good. And then this is the chickpeas that I found. It says, well, I'll put this in my salads because I'll make green salads with cucumbers, tomatoes, red onions, and the black Himalayan salt, and the hemp seeds.
Excellent.
I'm trying to build up my my salads, and I have mushrooms in there for my proteins.
Yes, and also hemp seed is very good for proteins for if you're experiencing headaches. It's the highest protein. It's one of the highest LAN proteins that you can have. It's very good for omega-3, 6, and 9. So it's good for connective tissue and bones and joints.
And then I have this here, ginger tincture. It has cane alcohol in it though. And I figured this is good, like if you have like a cold or something like that, that'll knock it out. And then I have one with the turmeric. It's both of these are organic.
Right. And remember, we want to clarify that because when you're saying it has alcohol in it, understand what the alcohol comes from and what it's for. Alcohol, whenever you see in tinctures, is for the purposes of opening up the pores, allowing the herb to get in. It's also a preservative for keeping it in the bottle. That's why they have a darker bottle. But also, if you have a situation where you have children and you need to administer that, you would just take that and drop it into an open cup, whatever the droppage is, which one dosage is about 30 to 40 drops. So drop it in there, and then you would let it sit for about 10 minutes. In about 10 minutes, the alcohol will dissipate. Now it's safe to give to children. Got it?
Okay. And one last thing, Dr. Paul, I noticed you were talking about, dehydration. And during these high temperatures, you do a lot of sweating and everything. And when you do a lot of sweating, that's taking a lot of the water out of the system, and you just got to keep pouring it in. And I know you say go half the body weight and everything, but it's just like sometimes you just can't get enough. It's like you just gotta just suck the whole bottle up. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's
but
like, yeah.
that is the exception though. The exception to the rule is if you're in high heat temperatures and you want to lower the temperature. That's when you would. That's the only time we say cold water actually is appropriate. Got it? So when the temperature is rising too hot and you're getting too hot and you got to bring it back down to 898.6, that's what you would do. So that would be appropriate in that point, but always keep in mind your body temperature. Never drink cold water in the wintertime. That's the key. But
Amen.
if you big thing, never drink it in the wintertime because your temperature is probably below 98.6 and you're trying to heat up. So don't give cold water. It's going to send it back down, or it's going to, bring too low. So it's going to cause problems there. So what you want to do is always keep in mind, where is your temperature right now? Got it? So if you are in
Always
hot,
room temperature.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're hot though, and if
Mm-hmm.
you're at 98.6, and if it's 100 outside, you
Mm-hmm.
need to bring it down. You need a little cooler water. Got it? That's the
Oh, okay.
difference. That's the
Mm-hmm.
difference. You got to bring it down a little bit. That's
Mm-hmm.
where room temperature water is not going to be appropriate because your body has to it's trying to cool down. Okay?
Right. So then you sweat it out, then you got to drink it back in. And then after that, you have to run to the bathroom, and that's taking the water out again. So then you got to put it back in. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
So it's
it's
a
based on
whole
activity.
cycle
Yeah,
process.
it's
Yeah.
it's all based on activity though. If you have
Yeah.
a high activity level, you're
Yeah.
going to need a
Mm-hmm.
lot more water. But the
Right.
average person that has, basic medium, activities, they're not going to need a whole lot of water. They're not going to do a lot of running around. So a lot of
Yes.
people
Yes.
that are more sedentary, they're not going to do a whole lot of movement. But if you're working out, and
Mm-hmm.
you're not in a temperature like an air conditioned temperature, you're going to burn a lot because your temperature
Right.
is going to rise, and therefore
Mhm.
when you rise, you're going to burn up a lot of resources, and that
Yeah,
includes
because
minerals and
before I
things.
first met you, I was drinking a whole gallon. I was trying to keep up with a whole gallon of water. But then after you said half your body weight, I says, okay, because people were looking at me all funny. It was like, oh, she's drinking a whole gallon at
Yeah.
work and places. I was like, wow. So now half the body weight, so I'm doing half a gallon now. Thanks to Dr. Paul. Thank you so much. You have
Okay.
a good night.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. That's some good food. You always
All
got some
right.
good food.
All
Thank
See,
right.
you.
Helen, you always make everybody hungry about this time. Everybody sitting there. I'm writing that down. Ooh, cocoa. All right. All right. I
Excuse me,
got
Dr.
y'all.
Paul.
Yes.
Can I ask Helen a question? Where did she get those was that from Amazon? Those products?
Helen,
So the cereal I got it from Organic Moms, and they also the tinctures I got them as well, and the chickpea, um, this chickpea I got that also from Moms as well. It's double steamed
yeah, Mom,
chickpeas.
that's got the big apple on the store, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
that the one?
Yes.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Yes, yes, yes.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Mom's has a
Thank,
All
lot of
right.
good
All
stuff
right.
in Helen, Dr. Paul Market. A lot of good stuff. So,
Yes. All right. Okay. Big B, you got something over there?
yeah, that was a question here from a little earlier. Said, well, what is it when you have a sweet smell to your urine? What causes that?
Sugar. That's
Sugar?
the answer.
Well, I guess that
That's
takes
an
care of
easy one. Come on, y'all.
that. Okay.
Sugar. Yep, them
So in other
donuts.
words, hey, Dr. Paul, hey, look, get over that sugar crack. That's what it
Yes,
is.
it's sugar. It's
Sugar.
always sugar. Yeah, sugar has this unique way of, also a lot of diabetics. It's going to
Hmm.
be sugar. When sugar is not breaking down, it's going to cause also. Remember what diabetes really is. Remember, your body creates when you eat any food, it breaks down into glucose. Glucose is
Yes.
is energy that has to get into the cell, but it can't get into the cell unless what you have the insulin. The insulin
Hmm.
is the turnkey. The turnkey goes in, opens up the cell wall, allows that glucose to get in. But when you don't have when you got too much glucose and you're not enough insulin, then what happens? You don't have any turnkey, and then that excess glucose is coming out of the urine. So that usually causes what's called sticky urine.
Mm-hmm.
Sticky urine. Sometimes you'll see if you go over someone's house and you ever go in the bathroom and the floor is sticky. You ever go and stick around, it's sticky, and the floor around the toilet
Uh-huh.
is real sticky. Yep, there's a diabetic there. Absolutely.
Ah.
Sticky urine. That's what that means, that the body's starting to now flush. So now they have to, that's why they have to pee a lot. Kind of
Uh-huh.
push out body's trying to get, the body's trying to rid the excess glucose. And sometimes even the urine, when you look at the urine, if you hold it up like in a clear glass, it's going to be very cloudy. That's glucose. That's glucose. Got it?
Okay. Now
Those are
here's a
things.
personal question, Dr. Paul. How are you able to remember so much stuff? Does your diet have anything to do with your diet? What do you think you're able to do that? What is it?
You know what? I've been doing this for so long. I mean, I started when I was 14 years old. I was 14 years old working at a pharmaceutical company. Who at 14 works at a pharmaceutical company? What's wrong with you?
Nobody.
Nobody. So that was my research beginning right there, and that was I say it's a God call, but I'm taking my herbs. I got a herb for that. Keep your mind right. Got it. Got a herb for that. So keep you sharp. Keep
In
your
other
liver
words,
sharp.
guys, it helps to be able to, if you eat properly, you feed your body properly, guess what? It'll give it back to you. Okay. And and in the process of your studying and reading, you've got to have something in there for it to come out. How about that? Okay. So
Yep, that's
you
right.
got started early. It's in there. All you gotta do is ask. When you guys ask the question, the brain finds it and brings it
You
right
know
to.
what? But I also got to take the God factor on this one. That
That's my
God
point.
has prepared me for this whole time.
Yes.
When I even didn't want to do this, God prepared me, and then He took me through every level of understanding from
Uh-huh.
around the different places that I've worked and the professionalism that I've had. It's just been a blessing. So for such a time as this is what I say, and so I'm truly thankful, and I thank God every day that I'm even be able to remember, but also bring it to the family. Because you
Yes.
got to
Yes.
pray it up.
Yeah.
Before I go in front of anybody, whether it's on the radio, wherever I come on here, I'm
Yes.
always
Yes. Yes.
asking God, what do you want me to say today?
Yeah.
you know, Not my will, but Thy will be done.
Yes,
And
sir.
then I let this
Indeed.
thing flow and let
Yes.
the Spirit take me. It used to drive my comrades crazy when I was on the radio. When I first started on the radio, it used to drive them crazy. They used to get on and they say, okay, do you have a plan for, what are we talking about today? And I would say, I don't know. I don't know what we
Oh
talking
man.
about.
See.
And they would go like, oh my God, what do you mean? We're going on in 5 minutes. What do you know? And I said, I don't know. I don't know.
Well.
Because, the Bible says to be forever prepared.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
just kind of always stay prepared, and also life experience always trains you and teaches you. So I've learned a lot from the people that I've sat and assessed with, and usually it's somewhere in that line I've run into it before.
You
Yeah.
know, it interested me that you should say that because I thought I was the only one that did that. My wife used to say to me, "I think you're nuts." I said, "What are you talking about?" See, when you go up to talk to people, you never know what you're going to talk about. My answer to that was very simple. You know what? I didn't ask me to come here. Dad did. He
Yeah.
told me to be in the audience, so he put you there to just be a faucet.
Absolutely. And it also kind of ties into what I'm going to talk about today, because it deals with your learning styles.
Yes,
It's your learning style. It's how you're listening to people. Are you
yes,
listening to people? And a lot
yes.
of people are not real good listeners. They're very good talkers, but there's not a lot of good listeners. People are
I
like,
know.
well, I'm ready to get my point across, but I ain't trying to hear nobody else's point. Got it? So I think that that's one of the things that I've become very good at. And even when I remember Oprah was talking about some of the, most successful people in the world,
Hmm.
they're excellent listeners.
Hmm.
You have to learn how to listen, learn how to listen in detail. If you ever want to know something about somebody, all you got to do is let them talk. That's all you got.
Amen. Amen.
You just let them talk, and then they're going to tell you everything about them. That's why when you go into, certain parts of the world, before they do business deals with you, they're going to take you to dinner, and they want to see where they're going to number one see what you order. and then also see what you're going to talk about.
Well,
Because they're going to know who they are dealing with, and that has a lot to do with, what you order, what your cravings are. We had that whole show on cravings. I may have to do that one again, Big, the craving show. But this is all part of listening. You got to pay attention to what people are saying. And, Grandma said 2 ears. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth to do double the listening and half the talking. Got it?
well, I know that's right. I know
All
that's
right.
right.
Okay. So, learning styles. What kind of learning style are you? Did you ever put that together? We had this a while back, but I think we really need to sort of revisit this whole situation. What kind of listener are you? What kind of learner are you? Because some of the things that I run across when I see people who are going through whether a acute situation with their disease or problem or chronic condition, or if it's chronic, meaning that it's just kind of going on for a long time, years and years, with high blood pressure, diabetes, issues with, blood problems, whatever's going on. You got to kind of look and say, there's a commonality with the way they're processing the information. Sometimes I'll get someone coming in and they're just not focused enough on what's really going on. They kind of just sag, kind of let things just kind of happen. And even when I'm saying, when you come, if you've been on my sessions and you've come in, first thing I would tell you is what? Bring a pen and a pad, right?
Amen. I
Bring a
know
pen and a
that's right.
pad
Yes, yes,
and be
yes.
prepared, right?
Yes,
Because
yes,
I
yes.
always tell you, make sure have a pen and a pad to write things down because this is about you. This is your game.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about you today. So the worst thing you can do is show up with no pen and pad, nothing. He's like, no notes, no tests, no nothing. Didn't bring your medication, didn't bring anything. And then they look and say, like, well, what you going to do for me?
Yes, yes, yes.
And I'm sitting there going like, okay, like, you got to realize this is about you, not me. And did you know I had a doctor that I spoke to about 2 weeks ago? He said, you know what? It's a strange thing that's going on right now. But in the medical profession, they're beating down these allopathic doctors now. You know what they're telling them? They're telling them, stop spending so much time with people. And they're starting to now follow them and give them marks and grades and, in some cases almost penalize them for spending too much time with you.
Yes, yes, yes.
So he told me, you know what he said? He said they want them to spend no more than 6 minutes with you.
Wow.
Did you hear that? 6 minutes. Wow. That's it.
You got them on a clock now, right?
6 minutes, you can't do nothing.
Deep.
You can barely take your blood pressure.
I know that's right.
In 6 minutes.
Wow.
So what does that mean? You have to be a very intuitive listener. You have to be a communicator. So there's 4 styles of learning styles I want y'all to write down. All right. Hope y'all got your pen and pad, right? Don't say you ain't got no pen and pad because I just said that example, right? Bad example. All right.
Well, Fingers got here, so we should be able to get
Fingers
it.
is here, so
Thank you, Prophetess.
Fingers is here. Prophetess is here to save the
hallelujah. Thank you.
day. Fingers is here to save the day. Got it. All
Okay,
right.
number 1.
Okay, so number one of the learning styles is called random. It's called random. Now, the random thinker or the random style, they sort of tend to skip to one idea or activity before completing first task. Is that you? Then they seem to have an accidental process of lack of defining a plan. They don't define the plan. They're kind of all over the place. They're random. They start and stop a task and multitask. Conversations can change focus or topic in the mid-sentence. You ever been with somebody say, you know what, boy, I tell you, it's raining outside.
Well,
And you talking to them like, wait a minute, weren't we just talking about blood pressure? And it's like people have the ability to, that's random style. Got it? Random. Now, I do want to have a disclaimer with this. None of these are bad. Got it? None of these are bad. It's just understanding how you process information. Got it? That's just how you process information. That's how you were developing. And as a child or, as an adult, young adult into adulthood, this is how you process information. So some people are random. That's one style. The next person is called sequential. Sequential. Got it? Sequential. Now, what is sequential? Sequential is simply they tend to follow a series of step-by-step arrangements or procedures. They start a task and finish it. Then they start another task. Got it? Conversations are orderly and focused on one subject at a time. That means you can't go to somebody who's sequential and say, is it raining outside? No, I'm talking about right here, your blood pressure. We talking about your blood pressure, Lydia. We're talking about your blood pressure. I see you laughing over there. Can we focus over here, y'all? You ever had somebody like that? That's just sequential. And that means you can't skip around with somebody and explain something to somebody who's sequential. Y'all might have somebody that's very sequential when it comes to cleaning up the house and things like that. We got to do this room. We're going to have to do this room. Going to do that room. That random person, they in every room. Oh, where am I talking at? They going all over the place.
They call them multitaskers.
Multitaskers. That's correct. Got it? So we got random. We got sequential. I want that the whole time. I want you to think about what person are you? What kind of learning style do you have? Got it? And remember, like I said, none of them are wrong. They're all powerful. They're all powerful. Okay? Next one, and I'm going to let some more folks in. Next one is abstract. Abstract. You would kind of think that abstract kind of thought that would be random, but it's actually a difference between abstract and random. Abstract is they require written instructions or a brief description to understand a task. Got it? So they tend to use one idea or metaphor to represent another statement. Their statement can seem irrational and sometimes even meaningless. You ever have somebody tell a story and you say, okay, what happened? Oh, no, I was just talking about that. Yeah, it just kind of goes nowhere. It's kind of abstract.
Like that.
They require written instructions or a brief description to understand a certain task. Got it? They're abstract. So you got to break it down for them. They tend to use one idea to represent another statement. Got it? So they kind of got their own little abstract way of doing things. They're sort of like an independent thinker type thing. Got it? And the last one is concrete. Concrete. Concrete is they tend to require ideas or instructions to relate to actual events, specific real objects, places, things. I want details. Come on, I need facts. I need facts. That person that's like all the detail, they require a physical description or a picture to understand a task. Now, this is, you're going to find the four learning styles is what makes up our modern society and the way most people are processing information. Yes. So when it comes to people's health, you have to be able to understand what cycle you're ready to receive it in. So you wouldn't go to a random person thinking sequential, or you wouldn't go to a sequential person thinking random. You wouldn't go to an abstract person thinking concrete, and you wouldn't go to a concrete person thinking abstract. You got to know who you're talking to and what they're getting their way in their learning process. Because some people can't always process things in the proper way. So in our delivery system, this is where a lot of confusion and communication can happen. Big B?
I was just thinking, I remember some years ago, I did some studying, and there was something that sounded almost like this. They were called thinkers, doers, intuitives, and thinkers, doers, intuitive, and there was another one. But anyway, they also said at the time that although we may be strong in one area, but sometimes we even cross and have a little bit of everything within us.
That is correct.
Being good listeners helps us to be able to define between as who is the strongest in which areas.
That's exactly why we're focusing on this.
Okay.
Because sometimes, actually, Big B, you're spot on. the key is what we try to do is identify what you do. Number one, what kind of thinker are you? Got it? What's your learning style?
Yes.
And then after you learn that, now you got to say, you know what? I got to sort of learn these other methods too, because they're powerful at times. It helps you when you're doing this because you can understand where other people are coming from. I can tell you that doing the assessments that I do one-on-one with people, I've learned all of the four styles.
Yes. I
So
understand
that's
that.
why in order for you to learn the styles, you got to be listening.
Oh, that's right.
Got it? You got to be listening. You can't be talking. And then sometimes you'll start, putting your point across and the person just not, you say, you don't understand what I'm saying, Big B. I'm trying to tell you something and you just all over the place. I'm trying to talk to you and I'm trying to be serious and you all over the place. And then I'm getting mad now. You're making me mad now. Got it? You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times that comes from not that just the anger, it's the misunderstanding of their learning style.
Yes.
This is what sometimes your relationships, whether male, female, principal, or, past presidents, sibling rivalries, whatever. Sometimes the biggest problem never was that you say, I still like you, Big B.
Yeah.
But you get on my nerves when you do that. You got it?
Now.
You ever had anybody ever had a situation like
Yes.
that? Say you get on my nerves, but you got to respect the learning style.
Yes.
You got to respect their learning style and just understand that that's how they process information. And believe it or not, when you start speaking their language, guess what? Next thing you know, you start having a better relationship.
Yep. And the conversation.
So that person that gets on your nerves because they so abstract, because you talking about one thing and then they talk about the weather and they talking about what you saw last night and all that. After a while, you know what? If you just go with the flow, you'll notice that it becomes a better relationship and communications.
Yes.
So when Big B starts going off and say, did you see that? Like, yeah, man, I saw it. Yeah. Let's get back to this again. Okay. And you see what I'm saying? We're push and pull.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes.
Push and
Exactly.
pull.
Yes.
That's what happens. So if anyone go over that list, know who you are. Anyone have any questions about this? Or did you get all of it? Did everybody get those 4 learning styles, right? You understand what they are? Got it? Okay, we're going to go to Van up there. Van?
Hi, Dr. Paul. Good evening, and family.
Hi.
Well, last week we talked about MSM.
Yes.
We didn't get a dosage or like how much.
Yeah. Sure. We usually start off slow with the MSM because it is methyl sulfonamethane is sulfur. So you start off with about a quarter teaspoon and then you raise it slowly every week. So 1 week you're going to do a quarter teaspoon in 8 ounces of water. And then you raise it to a quarter, to a half, to of course 3/4, and then to a full. And then you'll do it in increments because you're building your ability for detoxing the body. That's what sulfur is. Sulfur is it's a element that pushes and detoxes every cell. It's like a cellular cleanse for every 52 to 70 trillion cells that are in your body. So it works very well when you use it to, after green drinks, it helps to push into the cell. Okay?
Yes. And I have one last question.
Mm-hmm.
To replace your natural collagen, do you have any recommendations for that?
Sure, you got to build that. Well, the MSN does that. That helps to do that. Yep, MSM does that. But I would also go with something. My favorite would be something like, not to diagnose, treat, kill, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. It would be sea buckthorn. Sea buckthorn.
Buckthorn.
CSSEA. Buckthorn. BUCKTHORN. That's an herb.
Okay.
It's an herb, and it has the highest levels of omegas. See, whenever you have collagen issues, connective tissue, joint ligament problem, things like that, you got to always get back to the omegas. That's fatty acids. That's a deficiency in fatty acids. So the highest on that, without getting into the omega-3s because they can be toxic because it's coming from, fish, which can be contaminated. And then you can also get it from other herbs, but the highest of the herbs would be sea buckthorn. Hemp seed also has that also.
And how would you use sea buckthorn? Is it something
It comes in an
or
oil. Yeah, it comes in a gel cap. Comes in a gel cap. This is for everybody, y'all. Everybody need to be on some sea buckthorn. I'm gonna tell you. It's good for the knees, the joints. It's excellent for the skin. Ladies, y'all talking about bringing that glow back. Let me tell you. Yeah, that sea buckthorn to do it. And sometimes, a lot of, sea buckthorn is also in a lot of the beauty creams. That's why they put it in there. Because it actually is one of those that, some people will take the raw oil and just put it right on the inside of their, right in their wrist area. Okay, and it helps, or the area where you're having like a little inflammation.
I like to see as I'm getting older, I want my skin to be revitalized, just
Gotta be revitalized. Yeah,
revitalized.
I heard that.
Oh, please.
I want to glow. Hey,
Karen
Karen,
said,
Karen, mute. Okay.
I heard that.
Beautiful.
Hey,
Beautiful.
Karen, now change that.
Thank you.
Mute.
All right, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so
Can I
much.
ask a follow-up question to the MSM?
Yes, Linda.
The
Yes.
Product has a scooper in it, so are you recommending taking more?
No, just well, that's what it has a double scoop usually in it.
Yes.
And the double scoop is usually for as you raise in increments, you can go higher. I don't think people need that much. The best and the strongest of the MSM would be the flakes.
Yes.
So if you start to take it in small increments, and that's more like a detox. Like I said, it's going to be a flush for all your cells. So take it in increments.
So you recommend the flakes? I have a powder.
Yeah, I recommend the flakes. Powder's good too, but the rawest form of that is flakes. Okay. All right, let's see what else we got here. Van, you good on that?
Yes, I did want to squeeze one last question in, if it's okay. So I am a gum chewer. Wait, never mind. I don't have a,
I'm messing
never mind.
I'm just messing
Don't do it.
I'm a gum chewer. I love to chew gum.
Now there's a craving for that. One of the cravings for that, for those that chew gum, number one, don't chew gum, because when you're chewing gum, you're faking the body out. Because when you chew gum, all right, when you chew anything, your taste buds are preparing your food by sending a signal to your brain to let your body know what's coming. Got it? That's what your taste buds are for. It's not just for your enjoyment and pleasure. That's part of it. The other part is to let the body give the body heads up to what's coming. So when the body says, all right, you that's why they say chew your food. So the mastication happens in with your saliva. And that's also with the taste buds, sending the signal to the brain to let them know, okay, we got pork chop coming. All right, whatever is coming, right? All right. The brain is sitting there going, okay, we got an enzyme. Send down that enzyme in preparation to break down that pork chop. Got it? So now sends down the hydrochloric acid in preparation for that pork chop that never shows up because you're chewing gum. You got it? So now there's excess hydrochloric acid in the stomach that's just sitting there. And then when it's saying, well, hey, BB, I thought you told me it was some meat coming. And you say, yeah, I thought so too. Well, we might as well just work on this stomach. And then it starts to eat the lining of the stomach going.
Yes.
So those that chew a lot of gum tend to have a lot of issues with ulcers and digestive issues. Got it? So be careful with that. So you don't want to do that. You're faking the body out. All right. Also, gum has aspartame. Aspartame is a neurotoxin. That's the one that we know that is the artificial sweetener. And those that have a lot of aspartame in the sodas, which is the diet sodas, number one, Also, the artificial sweeteners like the sweet and low, equal, all those, it tends to cause higher in African American women more than any demographic on the planet strokes and heart attacks and aneurysms. Got it? No aspartame. Got it? That's on our top 10 toxic foods. If you go to my website, you can download it. Okay? So probably won't want to do that. Last thing I would say with that whining. See, when you're whining, chewing, that's sort of like this chewing goes back to winding down. You're trying to wind down and, stress, people getting on your nerves, stuff like that. That's what it comes. It comes from wine. It's calming you down. So that's why that's one of the cravings for that. Okay? We're going to do that cravings list again. All right? We're going to do that. I may pull that out next week for y'all. All right? Okay. Thank you, Van. Appreciate you. All right, Big B, you got somebody on the line there?
Yeah, Dr. Shaw, what juice do you recommend when taking the green drink, or do you just recommend water? Is there a specific kind of juice?
Sure, you can do juice. If you have delivery system means a lot. So if you have a problem with just water, you can add a little juice. If it's concentrate, you just add the water back to it. So I recommend always with the green drink about 12 ounces. Even though it says 8 on the actual packaging, I'd say about 12 ounces. So you can do apple juice, you can do grape juice, you can do pineapple juice, you can also do tart cherry juice, mango juice. You can even do.
What about peach juice?
Yeah, any of the peach juice, just as long as it's 100% juice. We're trying to stay away from any additives and things like that, okay? 100% juice, but also make sure if it's concentrate, you want to put the water back in. So that's 50%. So that's about 6 ounces of juice, 6 ounces of water. Got it? If it's concentrated. All right?
Is Kangen water system alkaline? Is the Kangen water system alkaline? That's one question.
Yep, that is it. Yep, that's the Kangen water system is an alkaline system. Yes, it is. And matter of fact, we're going to be having an event coming up soon. Let me see if I can get that and tell y'all about that. I was asked to be a part of a project that's going to happen. And this is going to happen. It's called the Origin of Nature event. Origin of Nature event. Y'all got that? Here it is right here. This is going to take place on August the 19th. Okay. And you'll hear more about this. I'll probably announce this on the radio. I'm going to be with some very talented folks. I'm going to be with vegan chef James Mitchell of Green Orchid Cuisines, Lynn Landis, founder of Wild Foodies of Philly, Bonnie Harmon, and Annie Hill. And they're going to do a presentation with Kangen water and also vegan cuisine. That's going to be on, again, that's going to be August the 19th. Okay. And that's at the Francis Cope House. Is that Cape? I can't see it. It's Cope House, 1 Albury Road. Got it? Okay. And that's going to be on August the 19th. Starts at 5:30 to 8:30. So that's going to be a good event. I'm excited about that one. All right.
Sorry, what was the address again?
It's the 1
Albury?
Albury, AWBURY Road.
Wait a minute, all spell it again.
AW, B as in boy, URY Road. And that's Philly, PA. And that's August the 19th. It's a Thursday, 5:30 to 8:30.
Will that be live?
Yep, it will be live and in color. So I will be there.
5:30 to what?
5:30 to 8:30. So if y'all want more information about that, I will get that information to you. I do have a person's number. She didn't give me the number. If I give her a number, she gonna get mad at me. I'm
Yeah,
gonna give her the
you
number
might
right
get
now.
beat up, Dr. Paul. So be
I'm gonna
nice.
get beat up. That's all right. I'm gonna get beat up tonight. I'm gonna say call my sister. She cause she invited me. That's Annie Hill. Okay, Annie Hill. Her number's 267-629-4311. And she asked, "How you get my number?" Tell him Dr. Paul gave it to you.
Oh, so Dr. Paul put me on blast, y'all. Let him get in trouble.
But I think it's going to be a great event. You know, people talk about food all the time. They say, well, if you talk about all this toxic food and all this stuff, I don't know what to eat no more. Y'all come with attitude. So here, we got to understand it's all about the preparation. Got it? So, James, if you have not been blessed to be a part of one of his seminars, he does an excellent seminar, shows you how to prepare food and things that you can do very simply. It's not hard, y'all. It's in the knowing. Got it? So James Mitchell, he's got a great chef schooling thing that he does. So I tell you, he's going to bless y'all. So come on out and get some good food, good energy, good presentation. We're just going to have fun that night. All right. So join us. All right. August 19th.
Is there a fee? Is this free?
Call Annie for the details because I did
Okay.
not get all the details on the price, but there is an Eventbrite that she
Okay.
can send. This is just hot off the press, family. This is hot
Okay.
off the press. So I think they're still sort of getting things in order, but I wanted to express that to the family. If you're vegan, vegetarian, or you're trying to get in that area, you just want to get some good food. You want to get out the house finally.
I know
It's a
that's
good
right.
time.
And stay
We just
healthy
hope
while
that
doing it.
yeah, we just hope that it's not going to be a time with this Delta Plus that is going to shut things down in the state of Pennsylvania. So August the 19th, keep that in there. I will keep you posted on things, but that's hot off the press. All right,
And
family.
it in the email.
Yeah, it's in the email. Thank you, Prophetess. Let's give Prophetess a hand over there.
Yeah.
Fingers.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
I was so glad to see her pop up. I started to sweat, Dr. Paul.
Because Bill's hands started cramping up over
Woo,
there.
help me, y'all.
All right, we got some more folks. We're coming down on our hours here. I got Cheryl T over here. Cheryl T.
Good evening, Dr. Paul. Thank you for all the valuable information.
Sure, sure. Mm-hmm.
Could you let us know what you eat in the day?
Sure. I start off with a green drink, of course. You know, green drinks are, the basis and foundation for everything that I do. I know that there's a problem with the nutrition, so I start off with a green drink and whatever herbs that I have for the day. So right now I'm in like a little cleansing period, so I'm doing a little bit of the colon cleanse and also the parasite formula. I'm going to go through that cleanse because we're still all in our change of seasons.
Yes.
We're about a month in right now, but also I'll add things like the golden seal because of this COVID-19, and then also things like sea buckthorn and also glutathione. That's what I usually keep on, and that's what keeps me going. Now, I also will do fruit in the morning. Okay, fruit in the morning. Fruit is something that I think that, fruit stimulates stable in vegetables in the afternoon and evening. They stabilize. Got it? Afternoons, I look for something light. If I don't eat something based on if I'm in sessions with someone, I just make sure I get another green drink at lunchtime. If I'm available to eat at that time, I will do like a salad or something that I'll try to do. But lately, it's been hard to do that because I've had so many people that I'm with. So I have to try to double up at certain times in the afternoon. Got it? Evening times, oh, my favorite time. My favorite time. I love to, and I think my wife is getting so spoiled, y'all. She's so spoiled. Don't tell her I'm telling y'all this, though. I hope she ain't listening upstairs. Anyway, she gets so spoiled. I love to cook, man. I come home and you think after a long day, I just love to cook, man. It helps me get my peace of mind. So I always take a base. I usually use a brown, wild, or black rice, and then I'll use a stir fry. I love adding the organic stir fries, and that may be broccoli, it could be cauliflower, it could be snow peas, it could be garlic, onions, broccoli, asparagus, whatever it is for that night, stir fry, and then I may take a fish. I may take a fish, and that may be like in this case, I had the other day I had swordfish. I had also sea bass. That's another one I take. What was the other one? Whiting. Sometimes, any fish that you have, just make sure it's fins and scales. Got it? And that over the bed of rice. That's it. I tell you, I can roll that all the time. Sometimes the bed, whatever the bed is, sometimes I'll go with couscous. Sometimes you can go with. Um, Also, I do spaghetti squash as a base. Okay, so sometimes it depends. It depends, but that's what
Okay.
I do. That's just an
Great.
example.
Great. Now, my second question is about the Jemima. Is
Hmm.
that for to reduce your craving for sugar? The Jemima. I'm
It
not
does.
sure what that's for.
Yeah, that's it. Gymnema sylvestre. That's what it's called. Gymnema sylvestre. I'm going to mute you a little bit. I'm getting a little static from you, okay? Gymnema sylvestre is for sugar control, balance. Whenever we talk about, diabetics or those who having problem with sugar control, you got to start to get back to staying away from concentration. That means refined sugar, refined salt, refined oil. Stop dealing with dehydrated products. Anything that pours slow, stay away from it. What pours slow, y'all? What pours slow? Give me something that pours slow.
Honey,
My syrup,
Honey. Yep. Honey.
Molasses.
Molasses.
agave.
Agave. Anything that pours slow is too concentrated. It's not that it's bad, because that we call honey Mother Nature's multivitamin, but it's just not good for you because you got an insulin resistant issue. So nothing pours slow. Anything that's thick like that has moisture pulled off of it. So when you eat it, it actually now the body says, I got to look for water. So when it does that, your pancreas says, I cannot deal with concentration. I can't stand it when you give me concentration because I got to look for water and you're not drinking enough water. So it stops making two vital nutrients, magnesium and chromium. Got it? Those are your two. Magnesium and chromium. When you don't make magnesium and chromium, you start sputtering when it comes to making insulin. So, Gymnema comes to the rescue. Gymnema is the herb that is high in magnesium and chromium and a whole lot of other things, but it also has this thing called gymnemic acid. So gymnemic acid is actually used because it resensitizes your taste buds to what is organic again. And guess what? You start to taste food again.
I know
And it
that's right.
also pulls off the ability for you to actually crave that chemical sugar, which is, that sugar, which is actually no longer a sugar, it's actually a chemical. So that's what yes, it can be both a sugar balancer and an appetite suppressor when it comes to eating sugar. Got it?
Thank you, Dr. Paul.
All
You
right.
got
Thank
it,
you
yeah.
so much. Great question. Great question. Jennifer. We got Jennifer over there.
Hey, Dr. Paul.
Hey, how you
I'm
doing?
good. How are you?
Good.
Dr. Paul, I went for my assessment a month ago today, right?
Okay.
And my question is, the supplements that you gave, that you told me to take, I ordered them again. How long should I take them? Should I just continue to order them until my next assessment?
Well, remember, the detox usually is about 6 months. Okay? For anyone to do any type of churning around the boat, it's going to take a while because we didn't get
Okay.
that way overnight. So, usually about 6 months is what
Mhm.
we look at. And halfway in that journey, that's when you come back and see me. That's when about 3, 4 months you come back and see me, and then we sit down to see where you're going. Are you moving
Okay.
forward? Are you having challenges? Some things are working. We may have to switch up an herb. Sometimes some herbs may work better than others. So we give you
Mhm.
sort of like a ballpark on some of them, but it depends on, where you are. So that's why we try to look at that as sort of like a middle the line marker for you. But I would tell folks that when you're taking herbs and things, remember, it's just like taking food. We're not talking about pharmaceuticals, it's food. And then people say, well, doggone it, doc, I got to take this the rest of my life. I said, well, then you got to eat the rest of your life, don't you?
Well, how about that?
And then I just wanted to say
Yeah.
too that since I saw you a month ago, I'm already seeing the results of doing the herbs and doing the eating thing after, not after 7, not before noon,
Mm,
and I'm starting to get the side effects of detox. So
mm,
normally I don't get pimples on my face, and I'm getting pimples on my face, and I got like a little rash on my
mm-hmm.
chest, and I know that it's part of the detox system.
That is it.
And so I just went, and I'm losing some weight, and I lost some weight. So
All
Go
right,
ahead.
all
Go
right.
ahead.
You're
Go
yeah.
ahead
doing it.
now.
But see, you said some critical things there.
Yes, most
The
definitely.
critical thing that you said was you said I got a little, outbreak on my skin a little bit. And see, some people will hear that and get scared. They say, I ain't taking that no more.
Uh-huh.
I was
Uh-huh.
breaking out, boy. I started bumping rashes all over. That's you detoxing, family. You're detoxing. The body means that, hey, I got to push it somewhere. It's closer to the surface. Send it to the surface. So
Yes,
you can
yes, yes.
help the body by continuing to do that. Drink your water. If you need a topical, you can also grab something called black ointment. Got it? Black ointment. That's Dr. Christopher's black ointment. That's one that you can take and you can get it online, or I think Wayne Avenue Health Store has that, and that will help it come forward even faster. Okay,
Okay.
that's an astringent.
Hmm.
So good job, good job. Let's give Jennifer a hand, y'all.
Yes,
Let's give
indeed.
Jennifer a
That's
hand.
great. That's
Some
great.
encouragement there. That's for everybody. All y'all doing well. I see so many stories, and I hear so many stories every day about people getting breakthroughs and turnarounds and things that you're doing. You remember, more people, it's not that they're deficient because they're trying something. They're doing something. It's not deficiency, it's insufficiency. Usually it's not enough. So that's why when you come through for an assessment, I put you on point and tell you exactly how to keep it right here. Keep it right there. You keep it right there, you're going to change, because you cannot give that body that much energy and not see change. You
I
got to
know that's right.
change.
Yes.
You got to change.
And
Most
Dr.
people.
Paul, people
Mhm.
are seeing the change in me. They'll say to me, "Oh my God, you look so much thinner." And actually, I only lost about 10 pounds, I would say, since I saw you. But the inches are crazy. Like the
I
inches coming
know.
off.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome. That is
yeah.
awesome. And that's the greatest reward when somebody say, "Girl, you look good. What you doing?" Nothing. I just don't get something beautiful. That's all. I'm not doing nothing. I'm doing nothing. I'm just beautiful. I guess that's all. You got to say, let me tell you, there's no reward that comes better than this when somebody tells you looking good. And that's what your goal is. So you want to look at that and expect that, because remember, you're not breaking the rules anymore. You're doing everything to feed the body, and the body corrects itself. All right, Jennifer, great job. Great job. Continue your quest. All right.
All thanks to
I
you,
got a
Dr. Paul.
question.
Okay. Someone had a
Hey,
question. Was that by
yes,
the phone?
That's by
yes,
far.
it's me, it's Diane. How's everybody?
Hey,
Good, Diane.
Diane,
How
how
are
you
you?
doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm also on I saw you about I think it's about 3 weeks ago now on the 28th of June. And I'm on a cocktail, your cocktail of
Okay. Is it the
I call
cocktail?
it the
Cocktail.
cocktail. Because
Those-
I'm trying to keep up and I'm like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do this right now, I gotta do this. Okay, 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 okay. So I'm in order. I'm in order. So I thank God for that. And I'm starting to feel better.
Excellent.
Also,
Excellent.
I'm doing one of the things that I have to do through you is the red onion tea. My question for you, how long does that last? Like I'll make like a half a pot, and can I keep it out room temperature, or do I have to refrigerate it? And so how long does it start to like stagnate after a
Yeah.
while?
Sure, right. They run rancid. After a
Yeah.
while, because it's organic, it'll run rancid. And you'll know because it's going to have a bland taste to it. That means
Hmm.
it's starting to tear down. So, usually, without no longer than a day and a half, usually I
Oh.
notice. And if you drink it, you try to drink it hot. So, here's what I recommend. When you go to, let's see if I have mine. I don't have mine down here now. There is, and family, let me tell you, there's some great things that you can buy right at Walmart. There's this thing called the Tal, TAL. towel. It's an actual water bottle. It's a steel water bottle.
Yes, yes.
And this thing is awesome. It's very durable. And when you take this thing, whatever you put in it, at whatever temperature, it's going to hold it for 48 hours. This thing is, I'll tell you, it's awesome. So what you would do, you all right there? Okay. Uh, what you would do is you would take it and you would take it hot, put it in this towel, and it's about a 64. I think they come as large as a 64 ounce, which is about a half a gallon. And then you just take, as you know, you can do a 32 or a 64, and that will hold it longer, I believe, because that's when I keep mine in there. I pull it out and it's still warm, so try to keep it no longer than a day and a half is what I would do. Okay. And always drink it hot. You always got to drink it hot. Okay. The thermal action of the red onion is what helps to break down a lot of the clotting that's going on in the arteries and veins. And that's what sort of scrubs. Let's call that the alliums of scrubs. That would be the red onion, the garlic, things like that in that family. Okay. All right. Good questions, y'all. Good questions.
Dr. Paul,
Yes.
is there something that for cataracts, is there a herb that takes the cataracts away? Because my brother is scheduled for surgery to have his cataracts removed. Is there something that takes the cataract away, or do you actually need that surgery?
Yeah, that's a loaded question because yes, you can take it away, but it comes with a lot of discipline. When you have mucus build up in the eye, usually, from mucus building up in the eye, that's really what it is. That's what a cataract is. That's what folks used to call snot in the eye, all that. But that's actually mucus build up. Usually, it's a systemic problem already going on, like high blood pressure. Does he have high blood pressure?
Yes.
Usually, it's a systemic problem already with high blood pressure. So you have these arteries in your eyes that are very tiny, and they get clogged very quickly. That's why if you have a systemic problem already with blood pressure, which means you got plaque buildup, usually from a lot of the oils and stuff. Watch that canola oil. Watch that, those refined oils. That usually starts to show up in the eye. That's why your eyes, people start to having like diabetics and stuff. Always happens in the eyes first because they're very small. Then it blocks up. Now the eyes can't detox. Mucus fills up, cataracts. Then if you're not pulling that out of there, that develops pressure, and then that becomes glaucoma. So if he's past the point of preventative, he may have to get that removed out of there. Okay? Not to say never, though, but he would need an assessment. So we would do the Dr. Christopher's Eye Bright formula, which is a eye wash. Okay, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent disease, just food for the soul, family. Dr. Christopher's Eye Bright. But he's got to really get a hold of that blood pressure. That's the problem. Got it? I would pull him off of any of the oils. You got to check him, tell him, say, hey, get off of all that oil. Any refined oils. Canola oil is the worst. Corn oil, peanut oil, vegetable oil. Worst of the worst. If you're doing any type of virgin olive oil, make sure it's not from Italy. It's got to be Spain, Greece, Morocco, or Turkey. Those are the other ones. Got it? Get off those oils because a lot of the oils are causing plaque buildup. Red onion tea would be good for him also. Okay, red onion tea. That's the red onion tea. Get that going. The allium, start to scrub those arteries and veins. But he's got to jump on it. What's his time frame for getting the surgery?
It's actually next month.
Yeah, it's very short time. Yeah, he would have to get on an advanced program to see something, but he may be past the point of preventative where he has to get it done. But even if he had to get it done, they do two methods. They actually inject this actual chemical where it actually breaks up the mucus, and then there's another one where they lift up the cornea and they pull it out. So it's a lot of ways they do it now. So that may be something that he's past the point of preventative because the discipline that he's going to need, he may not be there yet. Okay? He's not there yet. Yeah, so moving forward though, because people who've had these procedures, it revisits them. so he can prevent it from happening again. Because
Okay.
really, the pressure, he's got to deal with the pressure issue. Because usually people will get the cataracts done and they never correct the problem. So they got the mucus out, but now the pressure's building up. So now they got glaucoma. They say, "Oh, I had the cataract surgery already, but now I got glaucoma." Now you know why. Got it.
Okay. Okay, and is there a difference really in the nuts that we like walnuts and then I heard of black walnuts? Is there really a difference? Like, are regular walnuts good for us just as
Some of them,
black
they're in
walnuts?
this, yeah, they're in the same species in the same family. That is correct. Walnuts, black walnuts. There are some differentiations between them. But when you buy walnuts, usually from when you buy walnuts from like when you like if you're in a bag of nuts and thing, that's a walnut. That's a different than the black walnut is actually medicinal for parasites. That's what's good for parasites.
Right, the black walnuts. But okay. And what vitamin brands do you recommend that's good vitamins? Like I heard you saying take sea buckthorn and all these
Yeah.
vitamins. What is a good brand?
Any place that the stores have any go to always somewhere that's made the commitment to be organic. Okay, just as long as you go to an herbal store that's made the commitment to be organic. Don't go to Rite Aid and
Oh yeah,
CVS.
I know not to go there,
Right.
but even in the herbal stores, there's so many different brands.
No.
So
That's what I'm saying. They've made the commitment. Most of those stores, they are organic and they're safe. Now, if you're looking for a multi, we recommend the green drink. That's what the green drink does.
yeah, I have that. I have that. I'm just
Right.
talking about like the sea buckthorn and
Sure.
any other vitamins. Like I thought it would be a brand that might be as better than any other brand, but
Yeah,
no.
but that's the whole
Um,
point. Yeah, that's the whole point. When you go to an herbal store, they've all made the commitment to be organic. You're not going to see a lot of that stuff that you would see with the synthesization of a lot what happens in drugstores. Those are called sometimes pharmaceutical graded. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get a lot of that when you go to an herbal store. So everything in there usually is a better quality, much better quality than you would outside of there.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank
All
you,
right.
Doctor.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate
Dr.
you.
Paul, excuse me, black walnut was medicinal for what?
That was parasites. Yeah. Remember, that's also good for black walnut is also good for outbreaks on the skin. If you have like a bump, blister, boils, eczema, psoriasis, you can actually use that along with a little golden seal, and it'll pull. It's good for. I mentioned earlier the poison oak or poison ivy or anything that's on the skin. Okay. All right,
Okay.
family. I
Yeah,
think we
man.
almost out of here, Big
Yes,
B.
sir.
Cynthia, I got
What?
Cynthia over there. Cynthia. I think you the only one we didn't get to. Is Cynthia still there?
Yes. Dr.
Hey.
Paul, I got in late. I was trying to get in. I was driving. But you probably might have answered this question. I am listening to the news, and this Delta variant is kind of wearing heavy on your mind for unvaccinated people. So my question is, what is the downside for taking the vaccination, the COVID vaccination? I know
Well,
this. I know
yeah, it's
you
a
got
loaded
4 minutes,
question.
right?
It's like it's a
I know
loaded.
it's a heavy question, but it's just
Yeah,
it's
I
getting
mean,
kind of scary out here because they're talking about the unvaccinated people. They're the ones that's going to be getting it, and yada 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 yada.
okay.
So it's
First of all, that's misinformation. Got it. That's not the truth. The truth of the matter is, they're putting it to pin it on those because they're trying to stimulate you to get those that are in the middle. The movable middle is what they call them to move. They know that some people are just not going to take the thing because of the fact that they're not comfortable with the way it's being approached, nor the research and things that have been going, nor the side effects that people are having. See, you can't get around the fact that people talk. You gotta understand that. That social media thing is moving. If it was good, then people would be taking it with no problem. They wouldn't have to get on TV and do it. But they know that people are having a lot of side effects and problems with it. the myocarditis, which is actually affecting the young people, inflammation in the heart, y'all. I mean, you got people that are clotting. You know, they're talking about how now pilots, there's in 4 months, there's 5 pilots that have died because they're looking and tracing now, saying, wait a minute, they had mandatory shots, and then next thing you know, they clotted up and they're gone. And these are young guys under 40 years old. They can't. All of this stuff is going on right now, along with the fact that, you know, people are just not comfortable with that. So this is a personal choice. I would say you got to turn the TV off sometime, because they're pushing fear, and they will make things happen if they can get you in a state of fear. But don't let fear become a way of, satisfying your anxiety. Got it? Don't let that happen, because that's what they're doing. A lot of people are very nervous about this. All you got to do is just put in the, what's in the chat. Put it in the newspaper. Put it everywhere, so people can see it. But it's too much. It's too much of non-information that people are having problems with. And it's the lack of information that taking it just because. But I can't ask a question. You're censoring me. You're knocking people off. And, there's a cancel culture now where people can't ask questions. I mean, that to a lot of people is just too suspect. Yes. So just keep that all in mind, all right? We try not to go down that rabbit hole, because I want to keep you and the family still focused on daddy. You got me? Stay focused on daddy. What does that mean? That means that we've said from the very beginning, if you focus on daddy, the body will help itself and correct itself. God got everything he has planned for you is inside of you already. And remember, anything that tries to stimulate your body to do something or affect your immune system in any way is got to be a poison. You got it? Right. It can't be a little guy that goes in there and say, all right, I'm in here now, and I'll let you know when I see something. That ain't happening.
Yeah. Okay.
The body looks at friend or foe. You either belong here or you got to go.
It's real simple.
Got it? That's the way this thing works. It's the philosophical approach.
Yes.
It's the philosophical approach that's going on. That just don't, if it makes you uncomfortable, then what is the rush? You just sit back and chill. Just wait. I think it's safe to tell people you gotta wait this out, man. They don't know the long-term effects of what this stuff does to you. So be careful. I mean, why would you put something like that in the most precious part of your body, which is your blood?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm doing a lot of things, so I want to thank you.
Okay. All right. So remember, just stay on that focus. Keep your eye on daddy. The herbs are the meat of the earth. The trees are for the healing of the nations. Look at that list. Check it twice. Got it? All right.
All right. We got to get out of here.
All right, Big B. It's time to go. I think we got everybody. And I'm glad that
everybody.
Yes.
Prophet is getting ready to sneak out because she got another class.
She said, I got places to be.
I got to go. I'm not going home, but I got to get out of here. All right.
So Big B, tell them how they can be a part of this whole family tree, and they can help us to keep it going. Because did y'all get anything out of this today, y'all? Get anything y'all get this evening?
Indeed,
did you get anything?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Good night tonight. Good night. And as always, guys, we always just ask you to do the one thing. Continue to give this information away. We appreciate each and every one of you that continues to support us by using Dr. Paul's Cash App, and that's the $ capital DR, capital PAUL, capital HOP, or if you want to just send it, if you don't have Cash App, you can, and you have a checking account, send it through Zelle. Send that to mechavideo@comcast.net. Keep us rolling, because guess what? If you're breathing, you got a shot, and the only way to do that is to keep the family healthy. Bring them. All right, Dr. P, back up.
All right, Big B. All right, family. I want to thank y'all for tuning in, and it has been a blast. I want to say it's been a pleasure always to see you. Share this information with your family, your friends. If you got anything out of here, I'm just going to charge you with one thing, and that one thing is the truth. You got to tell somebody. Right. All right, you promise? You got to tell somebody. All right. And Big B, I want to thank you, brother. Let's give Big B a hand over there. Hey. And we're gonna give Prophetess a hand over there.
Yes,
She's over there, fingers putting it down for y'all.
Fingers is going.
If you want to again find out the transcript for what we talked about tonight and some information that may be a blessing to somebody in your family, just contact Big B Mecca Video
at gmail.com.
Also, you can see the rebroadcast on Dr. Paul's Holistic Health Network, which is on Facebook. And on Facebook, you can join the private group and you can get all the information in one location. Got it? That means the WRD shows, the Dr. Paul Holistic Health Show on Saturday morning, Green Hour, and the Family Tree all in one spot. All right? So join, be a part of the network. And thank you so much for those that have been helping us and donating, and we appreciate you so greatly. All right?
Yes.
All right. I just want to say, shake it out, y'all. Shake it out. All right.
Yes, sir.
Tap it out. Yeah, we get a little cheat song before we leave. Got it? Tap it out. Get it moving. Inside. All right, breathe. Tap. Good. This is K27. That's actually your kidneys right there.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey.
Good. Top to the head. Anybody home? No. Good. Tap to the back of the head. Good. Tap the face a little bit. Tap the head. Move that lymph out of there. Breathe. Blow it out. Come on down to the chin. All right. Now take your hands together. Reach up. Take inhale. And breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Now let's get a little energy going. Come on. Break it up. Come on, get that heat going. You feel that heat? Do you feel that heat? Shake your head like that. You feel it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
That's not my heat. That's your heat. That's your energy. Take that and then wipe it on down. Don't touch yourself now. Don't touch yourself, Karen. Don't touch yourself. Just touch yourself outside the body. You can almost feel the energy. So wipe it on down. This is called the energy bath. You almost feel the hairs on your arms stand up. Wipe it down. Do another one. Slap. Good. Then the last thing, we want to do a little energy. So just move the top hand, keep the bottom one still. You feel something? Woo, that feels cool. I feel that energy. You feel that energy? Feels like a little ball right there, right? That's you right there. That's you. Ain't that awesome? Take that energy, put that all over you too. All right, family. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Y'all can shake it out if y'all want to. Love y'all. God bless you. And remember, if you're breathing,
got a shot.
God bless everybody. God bless y'all. All right. Good night, John boy.
Good night.